Shalom Aleichem, peace unto you. I'm Rabbi Kaba, exploring the ancient Jewish Talmud and finding and bringing to you some nuggets of wonderful, useful, practical advice and wisdom. We're in Nedarim, the study of vows, page 10. And our sages in the Gemara, they have a disagreement about in previous generations if the pious men who never sinned, even by accident, they were very scrupulous, very careful, and they wanted to bring a sin offering, but they hadn't sinned. So what do? They could become a Nazir, grow out their hair, refrain from wine, refrain from ritual impurity like Samson. And then at the end of their Nazirut, of their period of being a Nazir, they had to bring a sin offering as part of that. Rabbi Yehuda says they would do that. And Rabbi Shimon says, no, they wouldn't do that because even becoming a Nazir has an element of self-deprivation and is considered somewhat sinful. Now, it's a great thing to be a Nazir. It's a higher level of holiness, but he's also depriving himself of wine and anything that comes from grapes. So our sages point out there's an element of sinfulness in self-deprivation because God put these things on the planet for us to enjoy responsibly, of course. And they compare this to a person who sits in his fast. He's also called a sinner. Now, what do they mean, sits in your fast? Now, in Jewish law, there are days we have to fast, and fasting is an effective method of atonement. Why is this? Because if you're not busy eating and thinking about your next meal and your snacks and your drinks, you actually have more time and energy, mental energy, to focus on your emotional needs, your spiritual needs, and your intellectual, rational development. You're not so busy with your body. You can pay more attention to the intangible aspects of your life. But if someone is sitting in his fast, it doesn't mean he's fasting to get better. It means he's wallowing in his misery. He's like, I feel so hungry. I feel so miserable. He's not getting out of it what he needs to, spiritual growth, intellectual development. He's just hurting himself for no good reason. And this applies not just to literal fasting from food, refraining from food. If somebody's really suffering in his problems and he's just thinking about his problems, fixating on all the misery that he's going through, and really, he walks around and it looks like somebody just ate his grandmother. He's really in a horrible mood, and he's always fixated on the negatives. He's sitting in his misery. He's wallowing in it, and he's not going to get anywhere. So sometimes in life, we have to do something difficult, whether it's fasting or making a real change in your life, a real change in your approach to how you live your life. And it might be painful, it might be temporarily painful, and it might be something that you need to do to allow you to move forward and move higher in life and actually reach your goals. So don't suffer in your problems and wallow in your misery. Think about, how do you move forward despite the problems and difficulties that you have? And that approach can allow you to begin to succeed in life. So with that, a lot of blessings and success in all your endeavors.